Good morning, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday morning, September 27th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and SPY. So two things to keep in mind. Two things the bulls would like to accomplish by Friday's close. We closed the second quarter in SPY 377.25. So there is a chance to have the third quarter be up. Probably won't be by a lot, but there is an opportunity if we're to come back into balance on the daily to at least be close to either unchanged or up for the quarter. Not a great feat, but certainly better than the first two quarters. That's number one. Probably the second thing, which is more important, is do they defend this balance low? They fiercely have defended it. And it is a 5-month $70 balance. So something, again, it's a monthly one. It doesn't get resolved in a day or two. We've talked about this tremendously over the last couple of days. Sellers need acceptance below the yearly low. If they do not get it, well, then at some point we're going to start rotating back up. So sellers have had every opportunity to get going here. Now, some people call this a 2-day balance, and that's fine. We did take out the previous day's low. I think if we ought to take out yesterday's high, I would probably go, depending on what we get above yesterday's high, balance to up. But I'll see. Remember, we still have a fairly large gap above us. Now, the Qs filled theirs yesterday. As you can see, SPY has a double distribution overnight. So just the way we treat regular trading hours with distributions as separate days, right now the overnight's got to be treated as 2 separate days. That goes for triple Qs, as you can see, and for the Russell. Okay, so just things to keep in mind. Right now, overnight high in SPY is 369.60. That's going to keep changing. It looks like 363.37 overnight low. ES 25.25 the high, 62.25 the low. So here's the game plan. I am in wider increments here. I'm in 4s in ES. So I'm not sure how wide this POC is. If they fail at yesterday's high, or take it out and get rejected above both Friday's high and yesterday's high, we would at least go test this wide POC and value high. Okay, that's number one. So it's important for bulls not to get acceptance back inside of M's range, because for now, they'll be opening with at least higher value and possibly over the next 90 minutes a gap if they get going. Now, second, this gap is rather large, right? It's $2.80. Qs, triple Qs and NQs fill theirs rather easily yesterday, but it was not as large. I think to fill that gap, we're going to have to go trend up. Okay? Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty big feat to do without going trend up. Not saying it can't be done, but it'd be a lot easier to get done if the market attempted to go trend up. Okay? Russell also has their gap to fill. Now, remember, the market is short. We've been talking about this. The higher we go, the more shorts you start putting on the water. Just like if we were able to get under this 5-month balance with any kind of tempo, volume, and acceptance, you have 5 months underwater. You have the whole year underwater, whoever's still long, and they can't get it going. So the reverse is going to happen here. The market is very short now in the weekly and the daily. So if you do start taking out yesterday's high, that's the first step for buyers to put sellers on alert. Second would be to get into that gap and fill that gap. Then shorts are going to get even more nervous. Now, we're still nowhere near last week's high, so I don't think that's in danger. Not yet anyway. But the higher you go, the more shorts you put on alert. So as far as the game plan, like I said, any pullback, if we hold value high, you could look for longs right now. I'd certainly be on the alert for a look above both Friday and yesterday and not get anything back in. That would be a warning sign. On the flip side, if we start getting acceptance above Friday and yesterday's high, we should eventually start eating away at this gap. And if we go trend, then I would certainly look for longs to go at least fill the gap. If we're trading around here at 9:30 or even now, you want to take a short against the overnight high and Friday and yesterday's high, you can certainly do that and use Friday's high as your out, because then you'll see if they chip away. So that's a short play, even with the higher value for now. So a couple of different plays here early on in the day. And then on the chart, so the monthly, again, they've defended this fiercely. We're still below this trend line. Okay, still below by about $7. So that's going to take some time. We're still in balance. The weekly is down, right? Last week's high right now is still $20 away from where we're trading now, up $5. So that's not going to be an easy feat. But for now, we did just look below last week's low. Barely yesterday, okay? Let me just see something real quick. We did take out yesterday's low, though, Friday's low, more than once. It's not a look below and fail, that's for sure. But we did just look below it. And then on the daily, again, you can still call it down because we took out the previous day's low. You can call it balance. It's an art, not a science. I said I would treat this basically as an inside day. So if we do take out Friday and yesterday's high, you go with it and monitor it for continuation or lack of. What does that mean? Well, continuation to me would mean filling this gap eventually. Lack of would mean not filling the gap, failing, and getting acceptance back into the last 2 days' ranges. Thanks for the likes and subscribing. Good luck trading today. And we'll recap at 4 p.m.